Hey, how's it going, guys? Today I'm checking out the Yuntab H8 available for under $100 on Amazon. There's nothing else around the box. So in the box we got the tablet itself, and we've got a micro USB to wall outlet charger, another micro USB to USB charger, a user manual, and then an extra screen protector. So on the front we've got a 2 megapixel front camera. It seems like we got the speakers in the front, so that's a good thing, and then you've got buttons on the bottom, so menu button, home button, and back button. That's actually pretty nice. It's rare to see that on a tablet these days, especially under $100. So the power button's here. Above the power button is the volume keys, and underneath, my guess, is the microphone. On the back we've got the 5 megapixel camera, and there's a little flash, the Yuntab logo, and it's just hard plastic. On top there's just the micro USB cable to recharge it, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the side here, we've got the SIM tray as well as a micro SD card slot, and this comes separately, by the way. It didn't come in the box. This is the one I have from something else. It takes in a micro SIM and then a micro SD card up to 32 gigs. Unfortunately, I don't have one that's up to 32 gigs, but it goes from the back here, and then you can just put it back in. Now the thing is, I don't have a GSM SIM, so it's not going to work with me. Then we don't have anything else underneath. That's pretty much it. So luckily it seems like there's a bit of charge on this, and it gets relatively bright, but not crazy bright. Like, you won't be able to use this outside. Nonetheless, I do like the screen because it's a 1280 by 800 screen. It's nothing too special, but it's an IPS display, so you won't have problems with viewing angles or anything. The bezels on the side don't feel too thick. Like, I can grip this with my hand. That's a nice thing. And then it is running Android 7.0, it says underneath here. Oh, and it does have haptic feedback, so it does vibrate on the side here when you press them. Out of the box, you'll have about 11 gigs available of storage, and that's not bad at all. And then again, you can put in a micro SD card that supports up to 32 gigs. Alright, so this is what the front camera looks like. I do need a shave, but I'll take a picture right here. It didn't come out so bad as I thought it would be. Now it's grainy and stuff, but for a front camera, it's acceptable. I can read Canon PowerShot F100 HS perfectly well. Now here's the rear camera. It feels like it's zoomed in a lot. Kind of have to have a steady hand, and then you can do HDR mode too. So the other ones actually came out pretty well, better than expected. It's nothing crazy, but I'm actually kind of impressed by a 5 megapixel camera. The colors do feel a little washed out, but you can still read everything. It's a lot more clear. HDR mode looks a little worse than the other ones. And prices tend to fluctuate a lot. One day you'll see a RAM kit for $40, the next day it'll come down to $30, or a CPU that's... Okay, so with this, the speaker only emits from the bottom right, or the bottom left you can say, but the thing is that it emits in the front, so that just makes it sound a lot better. I mean, not sound a lot better, but you can hear it a lot better. So that's definitely a nice touch to it. Like, I don't care how big or small it is, but as long as it's in the front, I mean, that should be the standard for all tablets. On the Antutu benchmark, it gets a score of around 26,000 overall. Now that's not low, but that's not too high either compared to what we've seen on other $100 tablets. But benchmarks don't always equate to better performance, but this should give you like a kind of a gist of what you can expect. What's interesting is that it's running a MT6737 quad-core processor with the Mali T720 GPU, and again, it's 1280 by 800 IPS display, 8 inches, so it has a pixel density of around 210, and then there's 2 gigs of RAM inside of this thing. Geekbench multi-score got 1313, and the single score was 486. First game we're checking out here is Geometry Dash, and so we're going to try this out really quickly. And yep, it's smooth as expected. Yeah, there's no lag whatsoever from what I'm noticing. The next game we're checking out here is Fruit Ninja, and it's lagging quite a bit. It's not smooth in frame rate. Some people could say it's playable, but yeah, it just looks a little slow and laggy, so I don't think that's great. I want to try out one more game here. So the next game we're playing here is Sonic Heroes. Right now we're just going through the demo, and it looks alright, but there are some stuttering and freezes that I've noticed. It's a little smoother than Fruit Ninja, but at the same time, yeah, I'm starting to notice a bit of a frame rate drop. Okay, so overall, the game seems to be a little slower in frame rate, but it's playable. It certainly is playable from what I can tell. Like, I'm still enjoying the game, and it hasn't really hindered my performance too much. There's only a total of 2 times I've noticed where it actually just like froze for like a split second. So one last thing I just want to test on here is the microphone. Like I said, I think it's on the side, but I could be totally wrong. I checked the user guide, but it's not saying exactly where it's located. It might be up here, it might be down here, but there is a microphone, so we'll see how it is. Here is the microphone. Like I said, I think it's on the side, but I could be totally wrong. I checked the user guide, but it's not saying exactly where it's located. It might be up here, it might be down here, but there is a microphone, so we'll see how it is. Overall, that's not too bad. It wasn't anything crazy loud but it was decent. This tablet as a whole is pretty good for what it is for the price. I would recommend it. I think it's pretty decent for gaming, and in general it seems like an overall decent tablet. The screen, it's not crazy sharp or anything, but it's not like it's pixelated like a 10-inch 1280 by 720 screen or 1280 by 800 resolution, because it has a higher pixel density and everything. But yeah, I'll have a link down below as to where you can get this, and leave a like if you found this video helpful, and subscribe if you want to see more.